On Tuesday, the House Oversight Committee issued subpoenas to former President Bill Clinton, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and 8 former attorneys general and FBI directors. The scheduled deposition dates for those subpoenaed range from mid-August through mid-October. They are all being called to answer for their role in things related to Jeffrey Epstein. This is the House Oversight Committee conducting a probe into exactly what was going on with Epstein. This is a wide and sweeping probe trying to figure out how he got the sweetheart deal, how things were prosecuted. This is Chairman James Comer from that committee listing off all the people who have been subpoenaed. In addition to the Clintons, it includes Bill Barr, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder, Jeff Sessions, Merrick Garland, as well as former FBI directors James Comey and Robert Mueller. So everybody from the last 2 or 3 administrations who has been involved in any kind of investigation that could have touched on Jeffrey Epstein is being made to now give testimony. Hillary Clinton is scheduled to testify October 9th and Bill Clinton's on October 14th. And, of course, they cite the well-known connections between Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein. What was it, 23 plane rides?
Oh, yeah.
Although Clinton denies that he has ever been on the island and said, you know, he ceased contact with Epstein over a decade before any of the...
Bill Clinton?
Yeah. Like before any of the bad stuff came out about him. So what do you guys think? What's going on here? Are we going to get some answers?
All right. Can I go? It's your face, Brandon.
Make it snappy.
It's snappy. All right.
Yeah.
Can I go? Like, you know, I don't think anything is going to come out of this. Maybe, maybe not. But on the positive side, this is how it's done. Like, this is how it should be done, and this is how it should have been done. To subpoena everyone that was involved, get them in front of the people, and ask the right questions. I think we're gonna see Hillary slipped on because she's slippery. Like, if you think the Teflon Don
Slept on or slipped on?
Slipped on.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just combining slip with ton. Clinton slipped on.
Okay.
And we're gonna see them just. You know, I don't think we're gonna get any information. Have you seen Hillary getting questioned?
I mean, I think the last time I saw like a big public questioning of her was for the Benghazi thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's done it publicly since, but like that should have told you everything you need to know about Hillary Clinton, because what difference at this point does it make? Like, I don't know. You had intelligence that showed the embassy was about to get attacked, and you did nothing. Let a bunch of Americans die.
My favorite one is when they're like, "Did you wipe the server?" She's like, "What, with like a cloth?"
But see, but now the other thing is people get old and they start slipping. All right? And she's been getting snappy. You know that old person snap? I've seen her in interviews and everything.
Snap.
Yeah. And she might snap this time around because she's not a young whippersnapper anymore, you know?
She's what, late 70s right now?
How? I don't know.
Yeah,
is Bill Clinton older than
late
Trump?
70s, early 80s.
Look that up.
All right, so
Brandon, cook for us.
I have to look into the Sessions and the Loretta Lynch's background and all that because I'm interested in that. But the most interesting names here, like obviously aside from Clinton's, is Bill Barr, a.k.a. Robert Johnson, because Bill Barr, he was running the whole Iran-Contra operation that Clinton was involved in. That was Clinton's like initiation process into the like slot to be the president. Like Clinton pretty much became president because of how good of a job he did during Iran-Contra, making Arkansas the place where they brought in the drugs, like built the guns and sent them to the Contras into Iran. But I was talking with my group the other day, my VT research circle, and I was saying we've technically had somebody who was in the CIA as president for the last 30 years. Think about that.
Beginning with Clinton or beginning
with Reagan, because Reagan wasn't a real president. Bush Sr. was completely the one in control under Reagan. Like everybody mocked and laughed at Reagan. He didn't really know what was going on ever. Everybody that was in the CIA was saying that. So Reagan was a puppet president. H.W. Bush was like the real president under Reagan. And then H.W. becomes president for 4 years after Reagan. Then Clinton becomes president for 8 years after H.W. And Clinton was in the CIA too. And then obviously H.W. Bush's son, George Bush, becomes
allegedly
president. Which one?
Clinton.
I mean, according to CIA officers, they say he was in his biographer. They say that he was in the CIA.
I mean, especially given his involvement in the whole Barry Seal thing and the Boys on the Tracks that Brandon has covered extensively on his channel.
Yeah,
shout out to the Brandon Aceto show.
you.
Go watch that.
Well, Operation Chaos, though.
Yeah, Clinton's been involved in all sorts of stuff.
We'll start with Operation Chaos when he would infiltrate college protest groups to like supposedly rat out who was anti.
Has it been ratified? Like, is it
The source that I'm citing with this is Roger Morris, who was Clinton's biographer, who said CIA sources told him that.
But that's not an official source. Like, it's not
his biographer.
Sanctioned. Yeah, it's not sanctioned.
Who's citing CIA officers?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the Operation Chaos files were destroyed. Like before the Family Jewels came out, a lot of the stuff was destroyed.
I agree. You need evidence for the claim, but Humberto, to counter what you're saying, it's not like the CIA is going to admit that they've been running presidents like puppets for the last couple decades.
Yeah,
so it's like, what concrete proof? Like, go on a Wikipedia page. It's like, oh yeah, the CIA admitted that Bill Clinton was actually just a cardboard cutout, and they were running the entire thing from behind the scenes. So there needs to be evidence for the claim.
Well, there is and circumstantial.
Yeah, there's circumstantial evidence. There's reports that allows you to build a narrative, and that's how a lot of these things work. So don't play the credentialism game of until it's a peer-reviewed paper. I'm not gonna.
When would you ever even write that down? So there is a classification method in the CIA, which I think it's like I forgot the exact name of it, but basically it was called, I think, ears only. So you would just never even write the thing down. So it was like so classified that it was only spoken out loud and never even written down, documented. But so that, in addition to a lot of the Operation Chaos files being destroyed, it's plausible that there's obviously no evidence that he ever was in the CIA because of things that were destroyed or things that were never written down. But I don't know. I think it's a pretty strong source that people within the CIA told his biographer that they often saw his name on CIA reports. And he wanted more than anything to dodge the Vietnam draft. So, I guess the way that he did that, in addition to being a Rhodes Scholar, he's a Rhodes Scholar, dodges the draft, supposedly rats out on people who are anti-war, and then gets plugged in to be the governor of Arkansas like a few years after that. And then the CIA's
at 32, right?
Yeah, and the CIA's biggest operation ever starts happening in Arkansas, run by Bill Barr, who, in the book everybody should read. It's called, what the hell is it? It's written by Terry Reid. Yeah, just type in Terry Reid Clinton book and you'll see it. But it talks about how Bill Barr is running this operation in Arkansas, and like Bill Barr is scolding Clinton at one point, saying like, "Oh, Bill, stop doing like the cocaine, stop losing your shit. We're the CIA, we got your back. Don't worry about it." And then when that whole thing starts unraveling, Bill Barr becomes Attorney General under H.W. Bush, who H.W. Bush is the one like running this whole thing.
Compromised?
Yeah, compromised. There you go.
There you go.
Compromised
by
Terry
Terry Reid.
Terry Reid was like the Barry Seal after Barry Seal. Like Barry Seal's trained him, and then Barry Seal got whacked because he was blackmailing Bush.
Well, where did they do all the flights to make those shipments for Iran-Contra, Brandon?
Arkansas.
Yeah, and what was the other location they were flying a bunch of stuff out of? Oh, you mean the airport that's
here,
right there outside the building,
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport, where our headquarters are currently located. Brandon and I are
we
still
just got doxxed.
Yeah. Brandon and I are still trying to get
some metal detectors.
some PBD to give us some funding to like go try to dig up whatever it is they buried around this property. Well, I'm sure we'll get back to that.
You know
eventually.
that Hillary? I just looked it up. She has never been charged with anything, and she has never all the lawsuits, and there was some very heavy hitting ones. All right? We're talking about Tulsi Gabbard, and we're talking about like what?
You could finish, but I forgot. Like,
No, she has never lost a lawsuit. She has settled. That's the worst thing that ever happened to her.
So, question. So, I mean, like the essence of this though is I like what Pat said yesterday about how this is like a gang within a gang. Like this is a crew within the government that's kind of
They're
operated.
called sets, Brandon, in the gang world.
Sure.
Yeah, no, they are.
Okay. So this is like a gang that's operated in a rogue way that's gotten close to getting in trouble a lot of times, but they always, have gotten off by the skin of their ass. But I think the last president that we had that wasn't part of the CIA, weirdly, was Jimmy Carter and maybe Biden.
All right.
How weird is that?
is very weird.
Biden's too dumb and Carter's too boring for the CIA to have any interest.
Here's the
wimp.
thing about Carter, or here's the thing about Carter though. So like he's known as the worst president ever by a lot of measures, but he was like the most aggressive in dismantling the CIA. So I'm wondering, like, was the CIA trying to undermine him while he was president because he was dismantling them? Because you had all these crazy revolutions and stuff, like Iran got overthrown, Nicaragua got overthrown, I think a few other places too. So was the CIA trying to make him look bad since he was dismantling them? And then
Wouldn't put it past them, because remember, they got, what was it, 6 ways from Sunday of tearing you down, according to Chuck Schumer.
Yeah.
But back on the Epstein track, I think we can't discount the fact that Bill Barr is being pulled in. You were talking about Bill Barr earlier.
That's the nucleus.
Bill Barr's dad is the one who gave Epstein a job as a teacher at the Dalton School. So Bill Barr and his family have been plugged into this thing from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Because remember, Epstein had basically no qualifications
No.
to teach at this elite private school. And yet suddenly he's a math teacher for reasons nobody's ever been able to explain, given the job by the father of the future Attorney General of the United States.
And then he got fired for being underqualified. And once he got fired, one of the parents took a liking of him and took him to Wall Street.
We need to dig into why the hell Trump picked Bill Barr as Attorney General randomly when Jeff Sessions got pulled out.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to wonder if Trump was like in the CIA the way that Epstein was in the
Oh,
CIA.
man, come on, please.
No,
But
I think he was just unprepared.
no, but like the
He didn't
CIA,
know how deep the swamp
but
ran.
the CIA used Epstein to launder money, and Epstein used Trump to launder money allegedly.
I don't know about that, Brandon.
Which part?
About Trump. Like, I know about Epstein. He was a savant when it came to laundering money. He was the best guy.
And he was doing it through New York and Palm Beach real estate.
Yeah, but they were adversarial in that scene.
No, that wasn't. Remember that came out last week. That wasn't why they stopped being friends. They stopped being friends because he was poaching workers from Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, but come on, Brandon. I don't.
Yeah, come at me with more than come on.
What?
Yeah, come at me with more than come on.
No, man. He a busy guy. He.
Busy with CIA stuff.
No.
Oh, what do you think?
I mean, I want to see more evidence for both. You can't hit him with the "come on, man," but you gotta like actually put up the evidence, and I think that's where the debate is.
Well, the offshore
Because-
banking network that we saw
Yeah.
with like the Panama Papers, Epstein built that. You know, like what Barry Seal was to the transportation aspect of Iran-Contra, Epstein was that to the financial aspect of it. Like he was setting up the offshore shell companies and tax evasion methods. So like that's why he was like super busy and off the grid doing that weird Epstein consulting thing that he set up in '82. So he left Bear Stearns and got plugged into that weird shady thing where he said he would only take $1 billion clients in 1982.
And he only had one client.
The CIA.
No. One known client.
During that time?
Yeah.
Who? Khashoggi?
Wexley?
Les Wexner from
Wexner.
L
But he
Brands.
did a ton of work with Khashoggi during the 80s. So Khashoggi, it's like not even a question whether or not he was.
Oh yeah,
And that's-
Khashoggi was showing him
That's
the
where
ropes.
there is again a weird crossover, because Trump bought Khashoggi's yacht. Trump, who has never
Yeah,
expressed an interest in boating in his life,
actually a hatred.
actually a dislike for boats, bought that boat, and it was used for like sting operations.
Well,
at
it
one
was
point, wasn't it?
wired up with cameras and mics,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
So
Maybe he
I
said the boat thing for shock value.
I don't
right?
know.
And there's not that many boats of that caliber around.
It was the most expensive in the world at the
Yeah,
time.
so like there's a very small market. So you were bound to buy it from someone, all right?
Yeah. So, regardless, I think there's a reason to ask these questions, particularly in light of how all the Epstein stuff has been handled by the Trump administration, with the weird back and forth and the binders and the promises and then the denials by people who made their careers saying that the Epstein client list existed. But I think it is important that all of these attorneys general are being subpoenaed, because these are all people who would have had direct access to these files.
Yeah.
I think one of the things we might learn is that evidence was planted against Trump in the files, or at least Trump believes evidence was planted against him, which might explain, at least in part, what they have been doing with this. Of if he thinks that all these guys, most of whom hated him, had access to all the documents and would hype up and possibly even fabricate evidence, as we know by the Russiagate investigation that's ongoing right now. These guys just invent things to try to
they
stop
do.
Trump. So that it's possible that whatever files existed were full of fake things
Connor.
concocted against Trump.
What's the easiest way to bulletproof this to never come out as true? Is to plant evidence inside. It's the easiest thing to do. It's just 2 or 3 prints, piece of paper that
But
you put
why
in
take half measures and just put it in there and not make it public? Why go out with these like weak ass artificial real estate price things?
It's the same reason why Iran, they're always 2 or 3 weeks away from building nuclear weapons. They having the ability to do
fake too.
No, having the ability, I don't know about that, but having the ability to do something and being close to it, like I don't have it right now, so you can't like bomb me out of existence, but I have the capabilities of doing it very easily. You know, same thing with planting documents.
You're talking about with the Democrats with having the stuff they
yeah,
planted, but
like it's a threat.
that wasn't
you
a
know?
very effective threat if he's like fighting everything they're doing tooth and nail and becoming.
Yeah, but once the first nuclear bomb is dropped, because they know you have the nuclear bomb, everything is over.
Why wouldn't they float it though?
But Brandon, if they open up the case, all right, and Trump is like, oh, I know I'm planted here, but F it, just open it up, bring my name up, and then it opens up the rest of the things. The things they're trying to hide, it will open it up.
Roberto's got a very valid point that once the ultimate weapon is deployed, there's no stopping everything else that comes after it. To quote the old expression, the power of the sword of Damocles is that it hangs, not that it drops. It's the threat of something happening rather than the thing itself that makes people fall in line.
But he's talking about the Democrats, and he's saying that like they would have planted that so that they have the threat of doing that to him, but they didn't even mention it when he was trying to run.
Brandon, the thing is that there's no Democrats and there's no Republicans, all right? They all work for the same bosses. Like, it's an illusion of having two sides, all right? And
this is some backroom...
Yeah, pedo stuff is very bipartisan.
This is backroom uniparty
corruption's
stuff
bipartisan.
here.
So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.